Yep, we're actually able to hear WWV this morning. Hey, this is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I better pick up my headphones here so you can hear me. Hello, breaker, can you hear me? Yeah, this is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. We could actually hear WWV this morning on 5 megahertz. And I even heard very slightly in the background the transmission from Hawaii. So I heard the female voice and the male voice. That's the two transmissions of WWV on this frequency. So we're going to check out this DAK DM-3000 this morning. Actually, the shortwave band conditions are a little better today. When I say a little better, we had nothing for the past week, and this morning we have something. So we're going to check this out. Thanks to a number of my subscribers and viewers, I got some information on this radio. I had absolutely nothing except this little article from an old Monitoring Times, but several of my subscribers and viewers sent me some information. And one took the time to scan his manual and send me both a Word and a PDF file. So now I have the manual. So now we can actually review this radio. So here we go. Number one, I think this radio originally sold for about $70. I got it for $20 off of Amazon. And this radio, as far as the look and feel, it's perfect. It's like a brand new radio. There's no scratches. It's nice and bright and shiny, and well, not bright, but it's there's no scratches on the case or anything or the display. It's perfect looking. The antenna is fine. The battery holder is fine. Everything is perfect. It even came with the original DAK AC adapter. So I'm going to go back. I haven't done this for a while, which is a shame. I'm going to go back and use my shortwave radio report card on this radio. Okay, so we're going to start with look and feel. Now, as I said, as far as a radio, used radio, the look and feel of this was like, it's like brand new. Now, just talk about the radio itself. I think this is a metal grill. It really looks professional looking. It's got a dull black finish, which I like, with nice big buttons. Well, some of these are a little small. Let me zoom in a little bit here. What are we doing? Boy, I need a cameraman so bad. Okay. Oh, we're on low resolution, so I can really zoom in. Okay. Where was I? Oh, the buttons. The buttons look good. The only worn button is an on-off button. That's the only thing that shows wear on this entire radio. And of course, the lettering on the buttons are just stenciled in. They're not etched, so they will wear off. Let me unplug this external antenna and just kind of show you around. This thing is heavy. I thought the guy had shipped it with batteries, because when I took it out of the shipping box, it was heavy. This thing is heavy. I don't know why it's plastic. It almost feels like metal, but it's plastic. But this thing, it's really deceiving. You look at this thing and you go, yeah, this is one of these, lightweight, flimsy radios. But this thing is heavy, whatever that's worth. It probably just means if you drop it, it'll crack because it's so heavy. The display is a good size display. It very easy to read, even for me. The lettering, all the lettering for me is readable, maybe with the exception of this band ranges. That's a little small for me, although it's light gray on black. That's what I'm trying to say. I would prefer white, but for some reason they just don't do that. They use gray on black. I don't ever see black on white. Probably some reason related to the wearing time or something. And so I would look and feel. It does have a stand in the back. If I get my finger underneath there. Boy, that thing is there. Ooh, a nice strong hinge. So it's got stand. And I will give it an A for look and feel. Maybe I may drop it down one letter. And the reason being, and this is something that will occur over time, and I've seen it on many radios, especially with these kinds of buttons, is they get where you have to push them pretty hard. And Daniel, who sent me this manual, said that his radio did the same thing, and he took it apart and cleaned all the contact buttons on the back of these, and it started working fine. So it's something that, like I say, I've seen it on other radios where you get a little moisture over the years and the contact is not good. All the buttons work, and they probably will start working better the more I use it, because it's probably been sitting for a while. But you do have some of the buttons you do have to push kind of hard. Not unreasonably, you don't have to hit it with a hammer, but you do have to push hard. So for look and feel, because of the buttons, maybe that doesn't go in that category. Because of the buttons, I'm going to knock it down to a B. So we're going to give look and feel a B. Maybe an A minus, but I'm going to say a B. So we're going to give that a B. Readability, and I kind of touched on that a little bit. Most of the writing for me, and I have to wear glasses, of course, is good, with the exception of this little scale. I can read, but it's a little bit of a stretch, and I'll give you a zoom-in view of that here just for a second. If I can hold this, let me set it down so I'm not jumping all over the place. Okay, it's not quite in focus, but you can see this is pretty small lettering. That'd be the only thing that's not readable. The display itself is very readable, no problems there. So I'm not going to knock it down for that, because I don't think I'd ever use it, number one. And number two, just if you got a reading problem, you just get out your magnifying glass, you write down the stuff in big bold letters, and then you got it. Okay, so I'm not going to knock it down for that. So I'm going to give readability an A. Power options. Okay, apparently this radio comes with the AC adapter. And once again, I got to say this, I haven't used it. Should have been, but I haven't. It's pretty hefty. Maybe, matter of fact, I should use it when I'm doing this testing here. And so it has the AC adapter, and it requires 4 AA batteries. I don't think it's capable of recharging rechargeable batteries in the radio. I don't think it's capable of doing that. Okay, so power options. There's nothing wrong. The fact that it did come with an AC adapter, that I'm going to give it an A. Maybe knock that down if that AC adapter is noisy. I'll check back on that in a few minutes. Tuning, it's all digital tuning. Either direct tuning or using these up-down tuning knobs, or it's got an automatic search button. So it's got 3 methods of tuning. Oh, plus, if you want to consider it, it does have memories, so you can tune via the memories. So it's got a lot of tuning options. Does have a knob, rotary knob, so if you're really looking for a radio with a rotary knob, this one doesn't have one. I typically don't like these up and down knobs. I'd rather have, especially if it's got fine tuning, I'd rather have a analog knob. So for that reason, I'm going to knock it down 1 letter. It's not a biggie. Audio quality, not so good. And I'll show you in a few minutes. The audio quality is fair. I'm going to, and I'll get into some details of that in either a few minutes or another video, depending on how long I ramble on this one. But I'm going to give it a C based on what I've listened to so far. Special features. The one special feature is it has this automatic tuning button. Okay, that's a special feature. It does have an external antenna jack. To me, that's a very important feature. So, what else? Does have a stand, does have a light. The light is a single light on the side. See that? That's the light. Not too impressive. So it's not backlit, it's side lit. Special feature, since it does have the antenna jack, but it doesn't have single sideband. I would call that, in this kind of price range radio, that would be a special feature. The fact that it doesn't have it, I'm not going to count it against it. So I'm going to give it, with the external antenna jack, and it does have a, or doesn't it? Take that back, it doesn't. Okay, I was thinking it had some kind of tone button, but it does. It does have AM sense on and off, or excuse me, DX and local. That would call that a special feature, but a common special feature. Oh, I'm going to be generous because it has an antenna jack. I'm going to give it a B. That's kind of generous. Now, reception. We're going to do that in the next video. I can see I'm up to almost 15 minutes already on this video, so I'm going to stop this video now, and then we'll do a separate video on reception and give it that score and then grade it overall. It's looking pretty good right now. The reception could be its downfall. I'm going to go back and include this characteristic here, is band. What is on the shortwave band? It's AM, FM, and parts of shortwave. So I'm really going to use special features to knock this down because it's got limited shortwave bands. It's not the full spectrum. It's a little misleading in the documentation, and let me go back and look at the documentation for a second. If we come back here in the back of this document, here is a listing of the bands it covers. It has FM, AM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2. Now, what it says is shortwave 1 is 3.580 megahertz to 7.735 megahertz. So it's not continuous, and it leaves out a bunch of stuff right there. Shortwave 2 is 9.5, so it skipped way up to 9.5, and it only goes to 21.975. And according to some of my listeners, viewers, even within those bands, it's not continuous. So it kind of skips over, and I'm assuming that it goes through the international meter bands. So there's a lot of stuff left out there in shortwave. So I'm going to categorize it as a special feature in that it doesn't have what I would expect a normal feature, which is at least of the bands that it advertises that it's continuous. So I'm going to knock this down to a C, maybe even a C minus. And I'm not going to put the band ranges under reception. That's just strictly how well the radio receives. So that's where we are right now. We got 2 C's, so that's knocks that. It's about a B right now, so it's going to be really dependent on reception, how it does on reception. If it doesn't do good on reception, I'm going to give it an overall C. If it does above fair, I'm going to give it a B or even an A if it does good in receiving the frequencies that it does cover, and that would give it an overall B. So we'll see. Stay tuned for the very next show. I'm just going to end this one so it doesn't end up being too long, and now we'll get to actually using the radio on the next show. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks to everyone that sent me information. I had basically nothing until you people sent me information, especially Daniel, who sent me a copy of the manual. Bye-bye.